might go off, or I don't know, what kind of practical jokes do you play?
Well, with my new chemistry set, thanks to Brie Larson, I do like to make stink bombs.
Banks of the Mississippi, where the bayou breezes blow, you can feel the changes happening. West Bank is on the go. Discover the magic of the West Bank. So many things to do and see. Discover the people of the West Bank. It's a great place to be. We're the gateway to New Orleans, filled with opportunity, where history meets industry. It's a great place to be.
Tigers, go 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 Tigers.
Had a little bit of money, so the Lord did me good. Got all kind of shit. Got the glow sticks, I got the gotcha bag, got the Hawaiian punch. Man, everybody won't holler at Pop what you need. I got it. If I ain't got it, I can find it, you understand? I'm selling glow sticks. Glow sticks that go with the yay. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome to the Bombadcast.
What is up, Bombad fam? Welcome to yet another Bombad Thursday. It's good to be with you here. What's up? Hey, what's up, Star Wars Sublight? Listen, look at this. I kind of love that we've been kind of accumulating a few new followers recently, a few new faces or profile pictures here on Thursday nights, and I'm liking this. I'm liking this trend. Okay, let's keep it going. But welcome. You've made it to the Bombadcast. It's a YouTube channel dedicated to mainly Star Wars. Sometimes we'll talk about, we'll talk about the pop culture. We'll talk about random places that we like to visit on the West Bank. I'm not from there, but I've been there. It's pretty nice. It is, in fact, a great place to be, and those state-of-the-art graphics show just a fraction of what there is to be had there. So listen, welcome to, again, the main show. We do a couple other shows here on Bombadcast, though. Every Thursday, of course, again, live. Yeah, I know I'm giving Scotty's fingers a workout here. Live every Thursday, 8 p.m. Central. This is where you'll be. But every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central, you also have Bombad Gaming with my boy Scotty J-Ro. This last week, he was hanging out with a bunch of a regular goon squad on the air, playing the Revenge of the Sith video game. My God, Jared joined him, but then it was a cavalcade of absolute nerds. Just freaking out over this game. It was a lot of fun. But every Wednesday, go check out Scotty playing. He's always playing a new game, different game. It's always fun. Sometimes I pop in, it just depends. But also, every other Saturday, and sometimes when I decide to do it, because that's what we talked about this last week. You make your content when you want to make it. Go watch last week's episode of Hyperfocus. But Hyperfocus, it is a bi-weekly discussion show where I sit down with a guest, and we might be changing that up a little bit. We might be having panel discussions on Hyperfocus to come, but we kind of talk about whatever my guests want to talk about. And then at the end of the show, you have a chance to call in and talk with us. And so it's kind of a fun time there. Yes, we need to discover the magic of the West Bank. But you know what? I'm excited to get into our topic tonight. Listen, we are so excited to be watching more Bobbie Wygant. Oh my God. I'm telling you, my Bobbie Wygantussy is so wide open and dripping right now. I'm ready to receive the bounty that we are about to get. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna bring my boy Scotty in. I'm gonna bring in. I already said his name. It's not scripted. It's Bombad. You can tell it's not scripted because I stumble over my words so much. So let's go ahead and bring in Scotty J. Rowe. Scotty, come on in, boy.
Hi.
Hello.
Very uneventful. Hi, what's going on, y'all? Excited to be here. I want to shout out to our patrons real quick, because if it wasn't for you, this wouldn't be possible. Trevor, Richie Rasputin, Preston Dugas, Buck O'Brien, Alden Diaz, David at
Beautiful.
K2 Espro, Trey Mitchell, Wesley Woolridge, Chase Hauser, the amazing
Wesley
Chase
Woolridge?
Hauser. Wesley
Oh
Woolridge. Neil Lowry, Todd DeGrossier, Brian Finnessy, M from Pink Milk, Michael McCoy, Brian Fry, Jeff Quilio, Jared the Dark Jedi, Seth Parnell, Sean Rome, Rick Villanueva, and Brennan Marr. Two newer ones right there. Sean and Brennan, super happy to have you join. And know what's funny? We've got most of the Pink Milk, like you can see right here. We've got M from Pink Milk, Chase Hauser, and I'm going to bring in our legendary guest this evening, who has not made a Bombadcast debut yet, but has made a Hyperfocus debut. I'm talking about the one and only Bryan Barry.
Wait, who invited you here?
There he is.
I forgot that happened. Hello.
Hey! Yeah, we like to surprise people sometimes still. Bryan, tell us, what's it like being Star Wars Twitter's dad?
That's right.
What's that
Let's
like?
hear it.
It's pretty great. It's pretty great. I'm here to
All
be
right,
anybody's
I love it.
daddy anytime. I'm 40 and happy about it. And I really
That's
like your
right.
graphic with my girl Bobbie. I feel like we look like a very cute couple in that graphic.
Look
Honestly,
at this.
yeah.
Like, look how cute we are.
Oh, it's
That's so
fantastic.
adorable. I love it. And
so
we're about to get like some peak Bobbie tonight as well,
like
right?
Babe Bobbie. So I'm very
Babe
excited.
Bobbie babe.
Brian,
She's
first
always a babe, but
on the Bombad
Always.
main proper, but I'm super happy to have you here. And you know what's funny? Before we get into any conversation, I gotta say, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm pulling myself up big here. This dude, this dude below us throws, along with his podcast fam, the best parties in the world.
oh my God.
Thank y'all.
Line of the eyes. That Thursday, was it a Thursday? Wasn't it
It was a
Thursday? Or
Thursday.
That was the
Yeah.
first
Kenny's
night.
like, I don't know if anyone's
Right?
going to show up. I'm like, homeboy. I'm like, no one's going to. This is going to be the best party of celebration. And I mean,
it
good
was one of the
Lord.
best nights, I will say. Like, frankly, the best of the bar nights was right there.
That's right.
I took a picture of someone's name tag to remember their name, and the next day I showed Scotty and a lot of people. It was a blur. So that's how awesome the party was.
Well,
So-
actually, one of our steam queens is there, and their name is Blur. So,
Oh, that's what it was. That's
Yeah.
what it was. Yeah. no,
Yeah.
Whoa. Look, Brian, it's so funny to speak to you, obviously, because of our memories of Minute Celebration. We had a lot of time to talk and hang out. We gossiped, we bullshitted. It was awesome. But to have you on here means the world to us, because okay, so I reached out to Brian a few weeks ago. I'm like, hey, do you want to do this episode? He's like, yeah, I've actually heard of Bobbie Wygant. And then it's like 3 texts later, he goes, oh, because I watched your show about Bobbie Wygant. And look, the Bobbie Wygant card right
Oh,
here.
we got him.
So
Oh,
we
we got
got him.
Card carrying
Yeah.
members.
Oh my
That's
God, I
right.
love it. I
But
love
no,
it.
I'm so happy to have you here, because this seems right up your alley. And I don't know, Bobbie Wygant. Like you said, that image of y'all. Like there's a match made in heaven right here. Look at this.
I
God.
Honestly, yes.
Hopefully, it's
Look-
not a Cyril and Edie relationship. Hopefully, it's filled with love.
Oh God, no.
It's a Hera and Kanan. It's a Hera and Kanan. I think that's
Okay,
what it
that-
is.
I'm here
Except
for that,
Kanan.
yes.
Except Kanan. Spoilers. Don't die.
That's right. So Brian,
don't bring that up. That is the worst death in all of Star Wars.
Oh,
It
it's
is.
brutal.
This guy brought it up. I want
I
to
know.
pass the buck actually.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm just kidding.
Oh my
I'm just
God,
kidding.
yeah,
Let's-
So
Let's continue.
what we're gonna watch tonight, I know it should say it in the title if you're watching, but we're gonna cover because Bobbie Wygant, okay, for those that don't know, she covered like all the press releases for like every big movie ever released. And she's an old, so at the time of the Phantom Menace, she was a much older lady. I don't really know how old she is now, but the Phantom Menace,
She's still kicking around.
she's still kicking, she's still alive. But these interviews are like so motherly, talks to like Jake Lloyd and then talks to like Liam. They're very wholesome. But we're going to look at Babe Bobbie Wygant. So this is like 20 years before that. So this is going to be Bobbie Wygant maybe in her prime. So the first clip we're going to watch.
If I
Like
may, I
20
don't know if this is impolite, but I have her age right here.
Oh,
Everything.
what is it?
I Googled it. She is 96 years fun.
God. And she,
God
I
bless
mean,
her.
look,
Keep
she's
on
beautiful.
kicking.
96 and fabulous.
That's
oh my
right.
God, she's still getting it, man. I mean, come
Yep.
on.
Love it.
Very active website too. And the reason I bring all that up is because the first one we're going to watch, I wonder how this is going to go. I haven't seen any of these clips. We're going to watch react. We'll even commentate like in a serious way because I don't know if these are silly. All of her Phantom Menace ones are fairly silly. They got
there's
goofy.
there's at least one little thing in each interview that is like, wow, it's like Arrested Development level humor.
Yes.
It feels
Who-
like it really feels
Little Jake Lloyd mentioned Brie Larson.
That is the
Which is
one.
wild.
We
Someone-
discovered that.
Someone
we
was
just-
saying, I think on Twitter too, was like, oh, hey, let me know if there's any more Brie Larson revelations. Or
Then
something.
I'll play the clip
Like,
for those
what?
that haven't seen it. Here's the
Yeah,
clip.
please, yeah.
You know, might go off, or I don't know, what kind of practical jokes do you play?
Well, with my new chemistry set, thanks to Brie Larson, I do like to make stink bombs.
It's just such a little kid
Hey.
comment.
I do like to make stink bombs.
Make
I
stink
God,
bombs.
Jake Lloyd, such a portrait in time right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our first one we're going to watch, though, I'm very excited, is this is an interview between Harrison Ford, Anthony Daniels, which is a pairing you don't see often, and Bobbie Wygant. So
Oh my
we're going to
God.
check that out.
I'm so
very excited. So
Freaking out.
we're not
here.
going to watch. We can watch segments of each one. So there's about
Hmm.
3 or 4 of them, but we only got about an hour to do this. So let's see if we can make it through. Now we will pause it obviously and discuss some of the things they say because Brian, now I don't mean to make you feel like you're old or anything.
Yes,
But-
I sat in the movie theater the weekend it was released. Mhm.
I wish I did. Honestly, I wish I was.
one, but I did see it.
Yeah,
I love
there you
that.
go.
Good Lord, I love that. That's so awesome. Well, let's get started then. Here we go. I wonder how these are going to
8
go.
short
Now, the
years
cool
later, I
thing
was
is
born. That's all I got.
these are so good because they're all unedited. They're just like the full 10 minutes before
God,
they
I love-
segment it and cut it down. So
Bobbie's
I don't know what
so
we're going to
raw.
get. Yes.
Bobbie is so raw. She's uncut.
She's raw
That's what I
dog in
love
it.
about her. This Star Wars freak.
Okay, let's see. I want to make sure this is right. There we go. All right, here we go.
Hold on. Oh, I got my. By the way, everyone, I got my Bobbie Wygant fuel here. My Franzia. So. Here we go. Here we
Well,
go.
Harrison and Tony, 3 years ago this time, we would never thought that we were going to be back here under these circumstances. And what I mean is the fact that Star Wars, the highest grossing film of all time. Is it like being in Never
Take
Never
that,
Land, Harrison?
Avatar.
Not
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, you understand that we perform this function all the time. To have it take off like that, that's beyond anybody's expectations, and it's a joy to behold, but it's not something you can take personally.
It has made you more marketable, though, as an actor, hasn't
Oh
it,
yeah,
Harrison?
it's given me, the success of the film has given me the opportunity to do a lot of work which I would not otherwise
So
have had.
I'm going to pause it for a second. That is actually very interesting because
Yeah.
not unlike his castmates, unfortunately, I know Mark had some opportunities, Carrie had some opportunities, but Harrison really benefited the most from being in these
He's shot
movies.
through the stratosphere.
Why
with
do y'all
these
think that
things.
is? I never thought about that. Why do y'all think that is?
Have you looked at him? I mean,
I know, but like, I think Mark brings such a good
I want him to
performance
be
as
my
well.
dad.
But what made Harrison?
I mean, Harrison Ford is like an actor's actor.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, I think Mark Hamill, God, I love Mark Hamill, but he's like a nerd. He's a nerd. He's an incredible actor too, but I almost wonder, I don't know, like if they had the same goals. Did Mark Hamill have that goal to get that big? I don't know.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Listen, Harrison Ford is like a not as problematic John Wayne, essentially.
Yep.
That's
Like
true.
he's not like the man is like like the left version of whatever. I assume he seems like he's very like left leaning and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but he just feels like a way less like, he's a man's man, but like
Yeah.
is a himbo the proper term? I don't know. He's like that dude who he like goes out and like he's like friend of the show, Peter, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his last name here, who's a rancher.
Peter Townley.
Peter Townley.
Yeah.
Who's like just a good dude, but is like also like, yeah, I went out and like had to fix a water line that some bears burst.
Yeah,
and
literally.
everything. That is an actual thing excuse he used when he couldn't come on the show one time. Like, I gotta go fix this water main this bears broke.
Well, it's funny.
And, like, that's
because-
Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
That's Harrison Ford.
I think it's cool because obviously he was a carpenter before he was an actor. He was working.
That's what I'm saying. This is peak. He's got the carpenter's haircut even there. I mean, still.
Yeah, there's something so inherently charming about him, and it's so weird. Like, obviously, the other example of this is like, at least for the sequel trilogy, is Adam Driver, and there's like that same exact feeling to when they both speak. I don't know. It's kind of
it's like they take it very seriously, but it's also like I'm kind of
Well, then you
talking about this.
Natalie Portman from the prequels was the same way too.
Yeah,
Great
yeah,
point,
no,
Ryan.
absolutely.
I guess it's always 1 star from every saga film, that kind of just skyrockets.
And that Ewan McGregor guy, he didn't do.
Yeah,
I wish he would have. He could have done so well. He had such a.
That's right.
He was right there. He was right there.
He was so
by the way, is their background? Is that a?
I don't know. It looks like concept art.
It looks
weird.
It looks like. Man,
it's Hoff.
It looks like a Macquarie.
It is definitely photos from Hoff. I'm gonna keep it playing. Let's see. We're at a minute.
Keep it going. I'm sorry. I just want my back wall to look like that.
The success of the films gave me the opportunity to do a lot of work which I would not otherwise have had, and I'm very pleased about that. But the work's the thing, not the success of the film so much.
At the same time, though, has it been a two-edged sword in that maybe you got some acting opportunities you wouldn't have had, and maybe were you aced out of others simply because they said Han Solo?
I'm sure that, but those are decisions that I don't, fortunately I'm not privy to those discussions. Any part that has a high visibility like that, sometimes a director will prefer to introduce someone on his own. I don't blame him at all. That's a director's choice. But I have done a number of films in between in which they've taken the chance to allow me to do different kinds of characters.
Indeed, you have.
He is so handsome. I want to pause to say that.
I just want to bottle a smidge. A smidge of that effing confidence. My God.
How long has this been playing? How many minutes?
Literally a minute and 40 seconds.
Okay, because I feel that this might be the root of Anthony Daniels' inability to be quiet. Like has he ever been this quiet in modern
My
times?
God, no. He's sitting right next to him like
there is something too of like, he had the weird thing, and I want to hear what Anthony has to say, but like, he's kind of like a small fish in a big pond here. You know, like not to be
Yep.
mean or Anthony Daniels, but like, you know, he did some roles. He did a lot of, I know, Shakespeare stuff in between this and the prequels, but like,
That's real.
I don't know. I mean, you've got like the guy here.
Yep.
Oh, you just know he
Hollywood leading
smells
man.
good. You know he smells good.
I bet
No, he
he
doesn't.
smells specifically.
No, he
You don't think
doesn't.
so,
Stetson.
Brian? So
No,
you don't
but
think he
that's what
smells
makes
good?
But that's what makes him smell so good.
Oh,
It's because he
he's got
doesn't
like
smell
that.
good.
He's got like
You're
a
like,
little bit of
musky.
that like sorry I've been outside fixing this door all day.
He's fixing the pipes the bears broke. He smells like cigarettes and whiskey.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
That's not a bad smell
Probably.
though. That's that loud uncle you got, you know.
Mhm.
That's
He's like so the opposite of a loud uncle though. He's like the uncle who goes, "How you doing, kid? How's college? All right.
House college.
Okay.
You do anything weird?
Anything? All right.
I'm gonna keep it rolling.
The Apocalypse and Hanover Street. And
That man wants to
so
be
you've had-
hammering something
you've
right
had
now.
some nice changes.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do as many different things for as many different kinds of audiences as I could between the first and the second, having every actor's natural fear of being identified totally with this one character.
Harrison, did the success
Oh.
of Star Wars give you a different outlook on your own worth as an actor?
Well, I would have to say yes, to a certain extent. I was pleased with the work that I did in the film. I would have been more pleased to have done better. I mean, it's not, I don't have a way of being satisfied with what I do, but I work at it, and that's all that really matters to me.
Tony, and you all were under very strict
she
security.
just admitted
when-
like I can't get much out of him.
That slow panned Anthony Daniels. I was not prepared for full because I'm used to gray haired Anthony. That pan, that is a. I'm sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
No, it's good. It's good. No, I wanted to play it. It's so funny with Harrison Ford. He's so dry. He's so himself.
He's so boring.
Yeah, he really
boring.
is.
Yeah. You know, do you have any beef jerky?
I wonder if he's going to bring any light to this, but he looks fairly chill here too. So they must have smoked a joint before this one.
he
Really laid back.
he does look high as fuck. You know, I'm just saying.
Now, I don't know what that means. Did you have to sign a loyalty oath, or what did you have to do?
No, it meant that some lines in the script were hard to read because each page had been stamped sideways with a list of serial numbers, and on the front there was a rubric which said, do not show this to anyone, do not give it away, do not use it for wrapping the garbage, do not do this and that. And this was a serial number that was my own script. I mean, it was ludicrous to a certain extent, actually. They got a bit carried away with it. Most people working on the film have enough sense to know that the whole object is one kind of a surprise. There's preparation behind the curtains. They open and say, ta-da! If you let bits of it slip away, the impact is not so great. And the audience are disappointed. We could sit here and give you the whole story now, but that's not what it's about.
But isn't there also something about the fact that somebody else would rip off the idea and you'd see it on television?
That as well. There are people kind of lurking about this area particularly who would quickly turn it into a TV series on the cheap, therefore very quickly. And yes, quite right, take the element away from us.
So Brian, I know you bopped that for a second. What he was saying is like how secretive it all has to be. And what's funny is it only gets worse, you know, as the years went on. He's like, yeah, they had to hand us our scripts in parts, which now it's like red Z. You can't even Xerox it. You can't even copy the thing. It's so hard to scan.
I love that he did the very cliche Shakespearean actor thing of but
but.
My God, I don't remember this Anthony Daniels at all.
Isn't that weird?
This is like this really is. I think you're right, Scotty. I think this is they smoked a J in the parking lot and walked into this interview. They probably smoked it with Bobbie. Frankly,
they probably did.
I'm just saying, Bobbie's probably like, "Would you like some good Kush?"
There's got to be a shot of Bobbie.
She probably rolled it for him.
Oh,
Yeah.
babe, good
Look at
lord,
that.
early
Oh my God, I love
'80s, fabulous. Good lord, You know, we're not getting much out of this one. I think we're going to move on to another one. This one's way too dry. But then again,
Need a little gravy to go with that one.
So we're going to bring in Mark. We got Mark Hamill and David Prowse, who, for those that don't know, David Prowse is the one that played Vader, obviously, and has been, or up until his death, have been very vocal about his lack of pleasure with I don't know, I guess you could say the representation of him in the media and how he really was kind of the body of Vader, but they weren't,
So in 1996, I went to a Star Wars Southwest.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
And I met David Prowse. God, I'm like, I shouldn't say that. Well, I'm a man of transparency, but it does not make me seem very friendly. I was like a 17-year-old kid. And, it was 96. It was allegedly the dark times of Star Wars that people talk about. I never experienced those, but, I was there and I went to get an autograph from David Prowse. And he signed it as the real Darth Vader. And I looked at him. I said, well, that's not very friendly. And I slid it back.
So was he mad about the James Earl Jones stuff? Was that what he was?
So I guess
he just
so,
doesn't
but
have a voice.
I was like, dude, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's not cool.
Yeah. Andy's right here. They bring up some good points here.
Yeah. And there's a whole documentary
fans,
too.
all that kind of stuff.
Like David Prowse's family made a documentary about
Yeah.
how it's interesting, and maybe he really did feel that way and he's valid to feel that way, but also it's kind of complicated when it comes down to it because, what the truth is that he was the body and he did a great job being the body. He got paid to be the body, but and you'll hear his voice in a second, everyone watching who have not heard him speak.
It's like, I feel differently now.
Pretty good.
I'm sure he was very nice, but I just remember back then I was like, well, it just felt so weird. And I still don't like the real.
Yeah.
Like, you're actively taking it away from somebody else. That's just weird.
Everyone's the real thing. Like, there's like 7 people that play Boba Fett and they can all get along,
yeah. They had like entire tours together.
Yes, literally.
This is kind of where it stems from a little bit. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's just like that may not be the underlying thing. But do you think if George had told him up front, this is what it's going to be, or I don't even know, because I don't know. It's still, that man had a chip on his shoulder.
This is interesting. I did not
not
realize that. Wow, Andy, thank you for telling us that. Holy shit!
I remember. Yeah, that was like I remember hearing about that. He's like, I'm the father or something.
Look, here we go. We'll see it here. This is also
I think he said that Ben Kenobi was your father.
That was it. He's the one that leaked that. Yeah. That's right.
Which was the fake spoiler, because they've like, listen, you're the reason we have the fake spoiler.
This is great too. I remember this.
It's just more McQuarrie.
Tom, I think it's a McQuarrie, but Tom O'Connell was the one that actually did the suit for the fight. So that was really important because Prowse couldn't do it. It's too big, too muscular. He couldn't fence because he was a bodybuilder, and we'll see it right here. He's a very interesting looking guy too. I wonder. Well, we'll find out. Let's see what he sounds like for those that don't know.
It's Sesame Street.
Well, it may look like the frozen north, but actually it's 20th Century Fox Studios in Hollywood to talk with Mark Hamill and David Prowse. And
it's Hoth.
The Empire Strikes Back. What can I tell you? Star Wars again. Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. It's good to see both of you again.
Actually,
it really is.
It's the only time we ever meet. We never meet on the film, apart from the last one we did, of course.
That's right.
The first one we never met at all.
And it got very lonely for me. Now, on this one, I sort of go off with R2 searching for this Jedi Master, and Carrie and Harrison go off on their own little adventure with Chewie and with 3PO. So I would see them at the studio, and I'd see them in the makeup room in the morning, I'd see them at the commissary. But I started getting very nostalgic and wistful for the good old days on the Death Star, in the trash compactor.
I have to bring up something, Mark, because the last time we talked, you told all about the rigors of that Tunisian desert, that godforsaken place where you went on location. And now this time, another, what appears to be godforsaken location, but this time freezing to death.
How do they dream up these? And he, of course, as Darth Vader, stays very aloof on his spaceship.
all done in the comforts of the sound stages in
Elstree,
London. In Norway, it was about 26 degrees below zero. And I mean, without being glib at all, I felt like there was no acting as much as there was trying to stay alive in the snow. It was awful. I mean, I'm supposed to be lost in the snow and tumbling down these snow banks, and of course the makeup people would say, "He doesn't look cold enough. Put more snow." And they would take snow and pack it on in my eyebrows, and this would melt, go down my face, and freeze before it hit my chin.
Wow.
It was awful, and it's an unusual kind of cold because it feels hot. It feels, your face is like it's been freshly slapped. So, I mean, it was a real
Mark almost died.
hard location. The cameras were freezing
And
up,
not in the car accident.
And how long were you there?
No.
Well, we weren't there that long.
No, Hollywood
I
was
think
trying to
all
kill
told
him.
They were there about 3 weeks, but
So wait, can someone explain that to me? Because I really don't know the full story. He got in a car accident. They used that as an excuse to do the Wampa scene, right? Or like it worked around it, right?
Well, they wrote that in to
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Because his
That's the
face
thing.
did get a little bit, like you could tell his nose is a little bit differently, and like I don't know. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah,
God,
I think
Forsaken.
I think they used it to.
I love how often
think
she
they
was
used
saying
it for the
"God
makeup."
forsaken."
What were you saying, Brian?
I
sorry,
think they
go ahead.
used it to instead of makeup. Yeah, I think they probably
Okay.
wouldn't have given him that bloody face. I don't know if they wrote that entire scene, and I hope. Well, you know what? That's the greatest thing about writing. Everyone that likes to complain about the sequel trilogies not knowing anything. Well, aren't movies written as they go all the time
Yeah.
since the dawn of
All the
time? Isn't
time.
that art?
Yeah.
Why didn't they have a plan though, Brian? Why?
Where was the plan?
Where was the plan here, Bobbie? Ask him where the plan was.
Yeah, Mark is as Mark as ever in this one. Mark is still Mark. Like
Yep.
he's a little less flamboyant in this interview than he is in later interviews. Last interviews he's like super theatrical, very expressive, This one he's pretty chill, which is
Well,
nice.
Bobbie's very serious. She probably is like, I am a serious journalist, Mark. We're not going to
Okay,
bring up
so-
puppies like you get to
Yes.
do in London.
Yeah. This is for Jared. Fortunately,
keep
fact,
your-
no, the crash according to George and Mark was not the reason for the Wampa attack. But I guess it doesn't hurt it, right? I mean, it doesn't go against what we know.
Yeah. Listen, Jared, why don't you do your own show? Okay. So I'm just playing.
I'm gonna keep
Let's
this
get
thing
this
rolling.
godforsaken thing going.
a lot of that was second unit flying helicopters over the terrain to get a good look at it. But it was enough.
David, I have to ask you straight away, have they changed Darth Vader's mask?
Yes, they have, very slightly, yes. They made all sorts of improvements to it because, first and foremost, you see, on the previous one, they decided that they could see through into the eyepiece.
That's true.
And so they put darker lenses in. Then they've also made the mask, I think they made the mask a different colour, in fact, out of a different fiberglass, a greyish colour. And then on top of all this, they altered the breathing hole at the bottom so that I could. In fact, I used to use the breathing hole as a vision hole because when you look through the mask, you can't see anything about 6 feet in front of you, and you have to look through the breathing hole at the bottom to see what's down by your feet. And also, of course, the whole thing is lacquered this time.
Oh my
They have
God,
this lacquer on it.
that's-
It's all very, very shiny.
That explains
Yeah.
Darth
Difference in it?
Vader's
It'll polish it
Frankenstein
a bit.
walk at the end, when he's first Darth Vader. He hasn't learned how to see
Oh.
outside the mask, so he's
Right.
like taking really big steps to not trip. Thank you, David. You are the real Darth
Yeah.
Vader.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to Brennan, by the way. $5.
Oh,
Thank
wow.
you for the
Thank you,
super chat.
Brennan.
Good to see you. Look, right there we go. Yes. Okay. I need to read that. I still need to read that novel. That's a great novel, apparently.
That is a
fantastic.
great one.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Yes,
That's fantastic.
Look, Brian's got it. I think. Here
I
we
have
go.
it like right back there somewhere.
Awesome. Yeah. No. I agree, Eric. Come with the facts. The facts are very.
Yeah,
important.
I was just messing, guys. I'm sorry. Listen, me and Jared, we go back and forth. It's fine.
No wonder they dubbed him boring.
Oh my God.
Oh, yes, it did
Yeah,
look
it is,
different.
yeah,
Even the
yeah.
still photograph
yeah,
looked different to me.
yeah.
I said, they've changed it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just was sure they had.
They even changed his performance as well. I mean, it was a very subdued, I thought, Darth Vader. Kirsch decided he didn't want me to play it at the speed at which I played the previous one, because on the first one I tried to establish Darth Vader's authority primarily by, well, obviously by physical presence, but by his walk through the picture, and I was trying to make everybody subservient to me by them all having to run to keep up with me. And Kirsch said, "No, slow up, slow up." He said, "We'll give you a much more subtle type of authority."
I think that's what's interesting. George's idea to have all of the different stories directed by different directors, and each director will bring his own interpretation to it. So far from being
ludicrous.
Kid on the block.
Bryan. What? What? That's amazing. Yeah, I'm excited because there is an interview with Gary Kurtz and Irvin Kershner, and I think Irvin Kershner has the most, like, if you've ever seen an interview with him, he's like super into it. Like he's at least, you know, the actors are very chill here, but usually Kirsch is like really into it. And yeah, that's what a shame, what a travesty. They changed things. I can't believe it. What? Unbelievable.
I love how he was just through her whole, she was talking to him. He was like, yeah.
You know what that's like.
He said yes so many times. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
like someone satiating their grandma, telling them about their day or something. Like,
Yeah.
Irvin Kershner, who directed The Empire Strikes Back, had, I thought, a marvelous facility. I mean, he really had a firm grasp of the legend, of the mythology, and he was great at getting the actors to be so. I think he was very enthusiastic in his approach to it, and that's nice. It's like a fresh, new kind of input.
Mark, I must ask you also.
Actually, that's something important to address, and I want to bring that up, is the fact that, you know, from what we've heard, you know, George's direction, and you can see it in A New Hope, is very, very laid back. And then you can watch and like just the way that Kirsch talks, and it's just so different than how George talks. Like I couldn't imagine being directed by George Lucas. He's like, well, I want to see it again, just a little bit faster. You know, just like literally just like, it's so, I don't know. I'm glad they got to work with a different director for the sequel, because I think it would have fallen into the same exact category of A New Hope, and which is it's a good category, but it's not a sequel category. You know what I mean? There is a mythic quality to it.
Yeah, there's something like, as a creative person. I mean, I'm not an actor by any stretch, but like as a creative person, I kind of like. I think I would love working with someone like George, who like trusted, and it wasn't just as actors. Like I was during Celebration, I went to the Attack of the Clones deal, you know, and even people there, oh god, I'm blanking on his name now, of course, because I'm on a stream. The sound dude was like
Ben Burt.
Yeah, not Ben Burt, the new one, Mark General Grievous.
Oh, Matthew Wood.
Oh, Matthew Wood.
Yeah, Matt Wood.
Michael McCoy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Matt Wood was like, I miss working with George, where, you know, you would ask him a question and he's like, well, do you like it? Do you think it's good? And if you said yes, he's like, well, that's basically why I hired you. And I feel like he found actors that he felt were the roles, and then like allowed that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Maybe other directors are not that way, and maybe some actors can't deal with that, but like as a creative person, I would be way into it, I think.
I agree. It's funny because we know for a fact that some directors, like Stanley Kubrick, was like super like, you have to do it to the script, no improvising, my direction, my shot. Whereas we know George was almost the exact opposite of it. You know, do you think that sounds? That's a very
loosey-goosey, you know.
Loosey-goosey. That's amazing. Loosey-goosey. And I'm excited because
you can hear him saying it too.
100%. Loosey-goosey. He described something one time as being, how did he describe it? It was in the Light and Magic documentary. He described something being not garbly-goop, but he says that one often. But there was another thing he said that I literally was dying laughing. I paused. I was laughing so hard. It might have been loosey-goosey. It was something so weird. Just old man isms. God, can't beat it. Let's see. Look at this shot. I paused on Mark.
Here, you know.
Look at Mark's face. Mark does not approve.
He He is having fun.
Godforsaken. Godforsaken.
I don't want to
And
give
thank
it
you for
away, but
coming
I
to this
just-
godforsaken place.
Sorry, Bobby. Please continue.
No, it's okay.
Mark, I must ask you also. Now, I don't want to give it away, but I just want to say that in this story, there is a connection between you and Darth Vader.
Yes.
Was it as much a surprise to you the first time you became aware of it?
Well, it was very tricky because of the problem with security and the fact that people like to leak out these
Stop looking at me.
secrets.
Oh, the shade! Holy shit! Holy
That's great. Just how smoothly he works that in there, like, you know, people like to leak the scripts.
Hey, can you do that again? Because anyone who wants to come at Pink Milk specifically when we talk about Luke Skywalker being gay, Luke Skywalker
Oh,
just
yeah.
gave some serious side eye. That was so good.
I had to turn the fan on. I'm watching that one. That was next level. Holy shit.
A connection between you and
You
Darth
can chew it on his tongue, too.
Was it as much a surprise to you the first time you became aware of it?
Well, it was very tricky because of the problem with security and the fact that people like to leak out these
Stop looking at me.
secrets.
Stop looking at me.
God bless David. He has this wonderful quality. He tells everybody everything. No, but actually what happened was we printed up bogus scripts.
No way!
It gets better.
Such a deeper level. Oh my god!
We gotta get a screenshot of his eyes going.
Oh my god! The shade. Okay, I'm gonna hear that one again. Good lord,
David. He has this wonderful quality. He tells everybody everything. No, but actually what happened was we printed up bogus scripts so that only the people.
I gave one to me.
You had a bogus script.
Well, in that final scene where the revelations occur,
Yes,
I
Bobbie.
memorized not only what David was saying.
I agree. Wait, this is the best. Sean said it best. Imagine this happened in 2023. This would be like Twitter wildfire.
Oh,
This
God,
would-
yeah.
People would be losing their shit.
Way down, Mark.
You had a
Like how
bogus
David
script.
Marks-
I love that Bobbie's sweet little voice.
You had a bogus script. You godforsaken piece of shit.
Bobby is that mean old lady in the retirement community that just wants her sugar-free Jello. Like that's all she is right here. Good lord, that's got me sweating. God,
Train
that
wreck
was-
choo choo. That's so good.
So great.
okay. Holy, we can't even get to the segment. That is so good.
My throat hurts.
I memorized not only what David was saying, but what would later be put in, because and it was terrible. It was like knowing this secret, and I was bursting to tell people. But I think it's nice
But I
in the
didn't.
sense that they're taking advantage of the fact that many people really feel they know the characters well enough. For instance, the Obi-Wan character is such a symbol of purity, and then to discover that he has not been completely honest with me. And for whatever reason we don't know, whether it's for his own gain or for the ends justify the means, we don't know. But now, even Darth Vader has become a various shade of gray. It's not just clear cut, and I think
That's true.
it's a real gamble. And I think that we can be proud of the fact that we didn't deliver the same experience that Star Wars delivered.
But did that revelation surprise you or not?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And hopefully it will surprise the viewers.
And we're not about to give it away.
It surprised me actually because I didn't know anything about it until I was sat in the cinema last Saturday, and that was the first I knew of it.
And what did you do?
Practically
I'm the
collapsed
real
in the
Darth
seat.
Vader. That's what it is.
But it was such a sensational twist. But it was really something which had been mooted around for a long time, and I thought they'd forgotten all about it. And but as I said, it was it was quite funny looking at yourself, talking all this dialogue and thinking to yourself, well, I never said any of that. That was I didn't say anything in that in the picture.
Right. I think the
was
line that
tremendous
he was
twist.
saying was that you don't know the truth. Obi-Wan killed your father.
Yeah.
And that's when I reacted, no. And he said, search your feelings, you know it to be true. And that, of course, has been changed for what it is now.
Yeah. Sensational.
That's fantastic. Mark, you are now
Whoa.
married since I saw you last. Tell me about, and you have a baby.
I have a son, yeah. He's
Nathan.
10.5 months old. And I must say that
Wild.
everyone was eyeing him very conspicuously because when they go back and do the stories that were 20 years earlier, in the third story, you see how Darth Vader came to power.
Hold on, this is actually, I want to bring in Andy's comment because I don't know if you remember
I was
this.
about to put that up.
Y'all, I was
remember
watching the live
that
stream. Holy shit. And
Yep.
to see Alan Tudyk's face, he did one of the, like, ooh. He goes, because unfortunately, I think a lot of it had to do with them not knowing what they could and couldn't say. And his exact words were, when his character dies. And everyone's like, ooh. And you can just see like the whole room shift. You can see that whole cast of people shift. Good Lord. That brought back memories. Jesus, that was wild. Yeah. Bryan, same with you. Oh, good God. That was wild. Yeah, that was some serious shade there, y'all. That was wild. Good Lord.
That was uncomfortable.
That was uncomfortable. I like that.
Yeah, that had big. So again, not to listen. We're spilling tea all over the effing place tonight. This last celebration, whenever they had our Tamura Morrison up on stage and Daniel Logan. Daniel Logan kind of went off on how he thought he was going to grow up to be Boba Fett.
Oh yeah,
for an uncomfortable amount of time.
Yeah, for like maybe 2 minutes too long. It was really weird.
It was really long, and I was sitting in the audience going, I feel very uncomfortable. And again, like, listen, it's whatever, but it's like I'm sitting there like sweating and going like, oh my God, I don't want to be here right now. This should happen behind the curtain. You should. I mean, they handled it and everything, but I was like, I remember being there, but like, oh wow, that felt like that. That tension of, I didn't know until the cinema,
So last Saturday, what's
I had the script because I don't tell shit.
We're gonna watch the one with Gary Kurtz and Irvin Kershner now, and then this has been a blast. That little slide of shade was unbelievable.
That was everything.
That was heavy.
Good God, that was wild. That's gonna get clipped. Someone's gonna clip
right
that
next to each other too. Oh my God.
That puts
what are you gonna say, Bryan?
Like that puts to rest like any of the uncomfortableness between Rian Johnson and Mark Hamill. Like that was so jovial.
Oh God. There's no. They feel there's nothing between those two like that. It feels to me.
No, that energy was next level. That was totally holy God.
It's like they brought everyone into this interview after they were all hungover or something.
Yeah. So this one's between Irvin Kershner and Gary Kurtz.
Yes.
From the Bobbie Wygant archive.
Yesterday. We were traveling. They were traveling yesterday?
We were.
Oh, we were. Oh, yeah. But were you traveling yesterday?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
too.
All right.
I like
Kermit the Frog.
Well, how nice to see both of you gentlemen, and especially under these happy circumstances.
Look at those
off
boats.
With the Empire Strikes
I know.
Back.
Kurtz,
You and I met.
Kurtz always had his beard, his hair. It was such a vibe all the time.
Yeah.
I can't describe. Those boots are fire.
It was like,
you see him?
He's got Amish chic going on right now.
God,
I feel like
for real.
Yeah.
Abe Lincoln.
No, and I mean that in the best way. I mean that. Yeah, Andy, Abe Lincoln.
Too.
Yeah. Very, very Abe Lincoln.
He's
very, yeah.
But we all have to admit, if it wasn't for him and Alan Ladd Jr., I mean, Star Wars would not have gotten off the ground for these two eccentrics. I mean, they really were. Alan Ladd Jr. was the son of a huge producer, and Gary Kurtz just happened to be involved. And I mean, this is the original. He's the original Mick McCallum. That's what he is. He's just got that. He's got such a great vibe to him. Any interview, he looks like that. He's always the thing I like about about Kurtz is that he's always dressed up. He never doesn't look like this. He's always looking nice.
my God. And you know what?
Always
I
looking like he's
know-
going to or coming from church or something, usually. Sorry, but please, Brian.
I
continue.
know y'all love your Rick McCallum, but like
Yeah.
we went from this to like junior high softball coach.
Chewing gum, drinking coffee.
You only made us love him more.
Yes. Yes. He's the one that
we
would
gotta win. We gotta win some more games, kids.
No,
all right?
he would be the one that was a teacher, Rick McCallum. He would come in and go, I can write the alphabet backwards. And we're like, what? And he would close his eye and write it backwards on the board. We just sit there all in class. So let's see this. Here we go.
When Star Wars came out, and of course, no one could possibly have suspected or imagined, dared to dream the impossible dream of such a fabulous success. What is it now, $500 million gross?
Something like that, yes.
Something like that.
Worldwide.
Realistically, can you expect to do that much business with this one?
It's really hard to tell. How a picture does, aside from whether it's good or not, depends somewhat on the mood of the country at the time, the competition, the weather, whether people want to go to the cinema or not, and so many other variables that all you can do is say, we think this is as good as we can make it, and let the audience come and see it. There always will be some fans out there, and it's just over and above that hardcore group that you have no idea of how to predict. If we could predict it, well, we would have a long time ago and only made successful pictures, but it doesn't happen that way.
But the point is that many people went to see it time and time and time again, and I wonder really if they will do that with this one, or if as many people will do that.
Well, that's the part that's hard to predict, but in some ways I think that this picture provides the same kind of emotional experience, and the environment, as it were, in the theater, the sound and the picture creating the mood and the atmosphere that is what they want to see when they come back again. When they come back the third and fourth time, you know they're not coming to see the story, they're coming to experience it again. And we tried in this picture to achieve the same result.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How do y'all feel about that? Because I agree with it. Obviously, that's why we go see the movies. But like this one always felt to me like the character study. The I don't know. There's a methodology to it that's way more slow and not as intense as A New Hope. And New Hope's a pretty intense movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really relate. I've only seen it once.
Can't stand your ass. I can't stand you, Brian Barry.
You have for a minute. I'm like, wait.
Only saw it once.
No, for real. I think Empire is up there with. I think like my favorite part of Star Wars, I talk about all the time, is I think Star Wars invites you to like play with it.
Yeah.
And interact with it in a way that a lot of like movies don't do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is the one that does that the most because it's the most emotional. It's the heaviest of the original saga for sure.
Yeah.
But it's heavy. But I really think it asks you to like put yourself in those situations. If that makes sense.
That's true. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's what I love. It's my favorite part about Star Wars. And I hope, you get on Twitter and everyone wants every answer, everything covered and everything answered. And they want the backstory for everything. And I hope, like selfishly, I hope we don't ever go there because I don't
see.
That's not Star Wars to me. Star Wars is more fairy tale than science fiction to me. And fairy tales and fables intentionally leave things out. And that's why you can have the same fairy tale be 150 years old and still
literally
pack the most because you apply whatever your surroundings are to that. And I hope, and I think that's the magic in Star Wars for real.
I agree. And something I've been reading a lot of Joseph Campbell lately, like a lot of it. And it's all that same idea. It's the archetypal storytelling where no matter who's experiencing it, it could be you, it could be someone that lives in a tribe in Africa, or it could be someone that lives in a whole different, environment, and they could still relate because it's like it's a deep mythology that's found, like it's so rooted in your soul. I mean, it's just the human experience personified. But one thing I did want to speak to that too, because you watch a movie like Empire and there is an escapist feel to it. with the Yoda scenes and even with the love scenes between, Leia and Han, the passion that's there and the experience of all that. But part of this thing is like, I don't know. To me, it's still a Star Wars, and like I can't believe half the time when I'm watching that movie, it doesn't. It's almost like TLJ. There's so much in Empire that you can still dissect from. You can still watch it. That's the one movie in the original trilogy that has that feeling to it. No matter what you get, and I actually want to tie it back into what you said. You don't need to know everything. You don't. My favorite part in Kenobi is we don't know the planet that Kenobi and Vader fights on the last time. That is the greatest mystery. There's so much mystery to it that I could care less about what happens. It adds to the feeling and the experience that it gives. That's beautifully said, Bryan. That's why I love you.
Yeah, thank you.
That's why you're our daddy. We're going to finish this interview and then we're going to wrap up in a few minutes. I want to hear Irving Kershner talk, though. I got to hear him talk.
Let's say we got to hear Irving.
More and a number of new effects and special things in this one. I was totally fascinated by Tauntaun. How does that work?
Well, the Tauntaun is a mammal that runs around in the snow, and we had full-sized ones, 8 feet tall, that the actors were able to climb on. And
did anyone notice? Hold on. Did anyone notice he specifically said mammal? That means it has nipples. I don't know if anyone ever thought about that, but it is a mammal. This is not a animal. This is a mammal. So we need to get some Tauntaun milk up in this mug. Matt Martin, where you at?
Up at Galaxy's Edge. I want my. Yeah. I just love that she's like, I love Tauntaun. Let's talk about Tauntaun.
Big lizard. They were described as lizard creatures too, which is even funnier. But big mammal.
Snow lizards. Done by stop motion animation, but I think that they're fairly well integrated, so it's sometimes hard to tell which is which.
Was there a body inside Tauntaun?
No, it's all mechanical.
All mechanical.
Bobbie, it's not a character.
Tauntaun. She's calling that is its given name, Tauntaun. Tauntaun Mitchell. Tauntaun Mitchell. Yes.
Was there a body inside Tauntaun?
No, it's hard to tell which is which.
Was there a body inside Tauntaun?
No.
It's
all mechanical.
No,
it wasn't.
And was it difficult for Mark Hamill to ride?
He was born during the Civil War, so he can't fathom a lizard that has fur. That's why he
just practiced a while. That's all.
You're laughing, Kurt. Why are you laughing?
God, he's high too.
Well, when you said difficult for him to ride it, I can just imagine Mark Hamill on this beast running across the snowy wastes. It's not quite done that way, but as long as the illusion is there, that's what makes us happy.
All right, everyone do their best. Everyone do their best Kershner face right now. Hold on, I'll bring everyone up big. Okay, I'm gonna start with Bryan first.
Do the voice too.
All right, Jerry, here you go, Jerry. Hello.
Yoda. You know Yoda. Man, could that guy snort some coke? I tell you.
Because I was pleased with your question.
The best special effects are those that you don't notice, that just work for you.
And many of the special effects, I'd say over half the special effects in this picture, people are not even aware of as being special effects. They think the special effects are the spaceships in space, or bolts of lasers tearing through the atmosphere. That's only the surface of the special effects. There's so much going on that you just accept. That's all special effects, and it's this integration of special effects and the characters, which is part of telling the story, that really makes the whole thing work and makes it look effortless. If you were aware of the special effects, it wouldn't be effortless, it would be mechanical. And to make it mechanical is very easy. To make it smooth and effortless is very difficult. And we achieved somewhat pretty good results, if you can ask these questions.
You said something that there was no logical way to explain the success of Star Wars, and I'd like to ask you what you mean about no logical way to explain it.
Well, Gary started to say that, is there's so many variables that determine the mood or needs or desires of an audience. An audience is not one human being, and yet it all has something in common. There is a tone that's right for each period. There is a temperament that seems to be promulgated, that's in the air. And if you tap into this force, if you want to use the word, then the picture becomes very popular. But logically, I don't think anybody can ever determine what's going to be successful. The thing that I love about this picture is the fact that it is not logical. And that's why I think people in many countries can experience it, because they're experiencing something that is cross-cultural. It's the common dream that they're experiencing.
Wow.
If you come from a highly technological society, or if you come from a very primitive society, the thing that you have in common is that you all dream from childhood on, and those dreams carry over into your everyday life. And a really exciting story often has dreamlike qualities where taboos are considered okay to experience, where you can go places where in your real life you would never go, where you can feel things that in your real life you have no chance to feel or experience. And this is extra logical. This is not thinking things through and saying, well, this means so-and-so, and this is why this happens. It goes beyond that.
That's actually really beautiful, because like Bryan just said, a lot of Star Wars gets to the point where you go and you're like, well, this doesn't make any, like, that's not the point. It's never the point. Wow.
Wow.
That was so good.
I want to be as high as that man is right there saying that.
You can make
out with your sister.
Yeah.
No, that was honestly beautiful thoughts.
It was great
right there. That like no matter where you come from, we all dream is wow. That is that is a high thought. That is a high thought.
I agree.
For sure.
I think what we should do now, I think we should wrap up, because we're going to let Bryan go back to what he has. It's called a family. I don't have one of those yet. I just have the lady that takes care of me in the back of the house.
Whatever.
You ruined yours, Jerry. No, I'm just saying. I'm just No, we're going to let, that was his, look at Bryan. Shane was as bad as David. What? No, but in all seriousness, Bryan, I'm glad you could join us this evening. We gotta let Bryan.
This is great.
We gotta let Bryan plug his wonderful show,
please.
Into my mouth. Sorry.
Pink milk does taste pretty good. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's great. Little sweet, little salty, thick. Just how you like it. You can follow me and the show at Serving Pink Milk on Twitter, Instagram, and kind of TikTok. But we have a podcast, a live stream, soon to be a YouTube show that I'm working on now that I'm very excited about. And it's good stuff. I have it's great.
Look at the thumb.
We talk about Star Wars queerly.
You're mandatorily, if you are a Patreon of Bombadcast, it's mandatory that you have to.
I agree.
Subscribe at least to Pink.
Yep.
Slay. I love it. Thank you.
Yep.
Please.
We're subscribed with notifications on.
That's some colorful business over there.
Yeah, God, it's the best. And the best of the live streams when Bryan happens to flash two Gamorrean guards banging on it. Those are my favorite ones.
Oh. Adam Graphite.
He's done it before. I've seen it. I've been watching Pink Milk Live. I'm like, oh, those are two Gamorrean guards' penises. Just right there.
Might do it again too. It wasn't two. There was three. That's why.
Listen.
Why I only have one when you could have two.
I agree.
Exactly. Listen, and Scotty has no room to talk anyway, because I mean, you go on his tweet, you go look at his Twitter. Sometimes it's giraffes giving birth. You don't know what's going to happen on that man's Twitter.
Yeah,
so
that's beautiful. But you know what?
So it is a miracle of life.
Oh, man.
Those
Bryan-
Gamorrean guards from the Book of Boba Fett are the hottest things that have ever
That
been
is-
on Star Wars. Oh my god.
That is one of the
Oh.
miracles of life as well, is how hot those Gamorrean guards were, frankly.
Miracles of life. Look, Bryan, we're
Mhm.
glad to have you here this evening. Everyone
No,
else,
thank
make
you.
sure you. No, it was our pleasure. We're gonna obviously have some more coming next week. I forgot what we
Yes.
have to do next week, Jared.
But we
Jared,
got,
I don't remember.
listen, I don't know. We have to look at the Google Docs. or
Schedule.
something,
Use
you
the
know?
Google Doc. But
This is how this is what we do. This is what we do. We
I
come on
agree.
here, we talk, we go, hey, what do you want to do next week? I don't know.
It's too relaxing. Like I just did the worst plug for my show ever in existence, and I was like, you can watch it.
That's what we do.
Eh,
Listen,
we're gonna have
It's
someone
right
next
here.
week. It's
right
all
here. Look.
great.
we have a THC effect on people, I think. I know you should not be on the Bombadcast and operate heavy machinery.
No,
Okay.
not
at
at
the same
all. But that being
Never.
said, look, if you haven't yet, anyone that has a TikTok, please go ahead and follow us. We're trying to make some more short form
Yes.
content for
Please
people that are chilling and want to watch Bombadcast, just hang out and chat. But everyone in the chat, thank you for coming this evening. This is a very active chat. And, usually, and I'm going to let Bryan do it, we usually have the guest sign off with our classic catchphrase, Stay Bombad. So, Bryan, if you can.
Oh, hold on. Oh, never mind. I'm gonna hold on. My name is Tauntaun, and we're gonna stay Bombad.
Did you say impossible? Pasquale? Only kidding, Chucky. I've changed my tune because I finally thought of a possible dream that we can all share.
What is it? Pasquale?
It's a dream about a world when nobody is poor or sick or hungry.
Oh, now that's a dream we can make come true.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right.
As I point up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind.
I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top,
And a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. And that's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer.
If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change.
I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
Oh yeah,
I'm asking him to change his ways.
come on, change. No message could have been any clearer. If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Oh yeah,
I'm asking him to change his ways.
no message could have been any clearer.
If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change.
Time for us to take a break, but we wouldn't dream of being gone for long. See you in a little bit.
Do it.
Tauntaun.
Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it.
Tauntaun.
Go ahead and do it. You know what to do. I know the stream's over, but
Godforsaken Tauntaun.
I love that 10 people are still just waiting for this stream to die. That's what I love about our viewers. They stick it to the absolute end, no matter what.
We got you. We got you here.
You're hooked. 10 people. 10 very intelligent people. People that can work a smartphone.
We can
That
count
doesn't mean you're
all of
very
you
intelligent.
on 2 of Paul's high fives.
That's right.
Yes. Tauntaun.
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 Oh,
Where is Tauntaun?
where's Tauntaun? And who
Was there someone
the
inside of
actor in
Tauntaun?
Tauntaun? Was there someone inside of Tauntaun? What an amazing, the Gamorrean, the merrier. Oh my god, I gotta do the dishes. I got a little argument earlier. I gotta do the dishes.
It's not over. Oh, you better
No,
go.
it's not. I know.
I'm just gonna.
That was fun though. I love Bryan.
I'm gonna sit here and drink this wine.
Just do it. Yeah. Just the show's over. What's the scene in Ferris Bueller? What are you still doing here? The movie's over. And he's like with the robe on and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Movie's over. You can go.
You know, I gotta go and I gotta go put a door on my roof.
I like your vibe today, by the way, Jay.
Santa
You look like Oscar Isaac when he was eating the Oscar Isaac when he's eating the hot Cheetos. Yeah,
The
out
hot
of
Cheetos with the thank you. Not what I was
It look-
going for.
But I like it.
It looks like I have T-Rex arms when I do this. But anyway, yeah, you know me. I'm just being me.
You doing okay?
Guys being dudes. I'm doing okay.
Yeah, me too, bud.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
I'm glad we can hang out. You know, it's funny. We get to do this stuff. You know, I feel like I barely know you. You know.
Yeah. This doesn't.
Do you
feel
still
like
have that kid?
at all? Do I still have my kid? What?
Yeah. Do you still have that kid? Whatever you call her.
Yeah, I'm keeping her. You know.
Okay, cool. Is she like still fresh out the box, or is she new? How old,
I mean,
how
she's
old are
starting
they
to
now?
smell a little bit, but not bad.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
fine. I still love her. She
Yeah.
told me tonight. She goes, "Dad, I want to go watch Puss in Boots again." This will be like the 4th time watching Puss in Boots this weekend.
And
so.
you said, and your name
I said
is?
yes.
Is
I
that you
said,
oh,
hell yes.
I don't know if you were like your name.
I said, hell yes.
you're
And then
my
I said,
daughter.
oh, I'm sorry. You're oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Alina?
Elzar.
Elzar.
Elo-
no.
Eloise.
My problem is I look in the mirror and I just don't know
Eli.
what I'm looking at anymore. I don't know if you've gotten to that point, but there's a lot of times where I just look in the mirror and I'm like, wow, what happened?
I look in the mirror and all I see is a beard covering regret. That's all I see.
Wow.
That's all I
I see this like, I don't know. I just see this a shell of a former person. It's really awful. It's like
only half. So it makes a
Don't have
full. Would that make a whole box of wine?
only half of
Listen,
2 whole
I'm
boxes of wine.
To quote Puss in Boots from this last movie, I am not a math guy.
I think it's important to acknowledge though our problems because we suffer with a lot. I mean,
We do.
barely know
we do.
you.
We've lost like 6
we've
people.
We've slept in the same beds before and stuff, and I just feel like I
have.
barely know you.
Touch tips. It's been, it's all kinds of things,
We surely have. You met my neighbor Paul.
Fingers.
Fingertips. We got our hands stuck in a Chinese finger trap.
Yeah.
Is that offensive? Am I getting canceled? Is it just a finger trap now? Did I
No,
mess that
that's
up?
what it's. No, that's what it. Listen, what the?
Hey
hell
Google,
are you talking about?
is it offensive to call it a Chinese finger
God,
trap?
why are you
now?
doing this on stream? We're on stream still.
Okay, then it's not.
That probably
If
is.
Google-
Yeah, we're
I
done.
don't
This has been
understand.
great. This has been
Ah.
great. It's been a good ride. It's been a good ride. I love this. I love you. Yeah, we had our fingers stuck in the finger trap. And our other hands were pulling each other's dicks, and so that's what that's where the whole thing was going on. So it's fine.
Did you pawn your wedding ring yet?
Oh, I sold that to Cash for Gold a long time ago, and guess what? It came back not as great. So
Wow.
I'm thinking somebody didn't spend as much money as they maybe wanted.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
is what it is. It is what it is.
You ever thrown a football?
I was
No.
just gonna buy crack cocaine with it anyway. It's fine.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. You ever thrown a football? Did
bunch
that
of
ever
heroin.
happen in your life or no?
Did I have what? A football? What?
Did you ever throw a football?
I did throw a football. I've been hit in the face with a football. Like classic, like nerd in a 90s movie getting hit in the glasses, directly in the glasses with a football at church.
What?
So what do you think I won't go to? That's why I never have been
That's
back
why you
to a
don't go
church
back.
since. No,
That
I'm just
was it.
playing.
That was
Flying
the one.
footballs to the glasses right there. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. It was different things than that, but whatever. It was Apollo Chronicles. Show's over.
We don't know. George. Hi, George.
Are you guys still watching?
I love that we're getting viewers as we're trying to end the show. Bryan left. We're just prolonging. We're just like, when you like, I don't know if you've ever like been hunting before, but when you like shoot an animal in a critical condition or you hit an animal with your vehicle and you're like, God, I just need to put it out of its misery. You're just waiting. You're just like, you're watching it die. This is a lot like this.
It's like, listen, I know I need to probably end this quick, so I'm just going to beat it with a shovel.
We've all done that.
Clearly.
Clearly. Yeah. Well, look, I think we should go. Glad to
so
catch
too.
up. I don't
Yeah, it's
really.
been nice. Are we still on?
Kevin, right?
Yeah.
Josiah.
Fellatio, right?
No. Josiah.
Oh, Josiah.
This is fellatio. This
right,
is fellatio.
Right. My bad.
That's my lover.
You right. 100%.
Yannick, it's like 7 a.m. for you. No, it's like 4 for Yannick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like
Kevin and Todd's on show.
Yannick is up like when I'm about to go to work. Like it's about that time.
It's like noon for Yannick when you get to work.
This is a godforsaken show.
Well, look, I think we should go.
This is godforsaken.
Everyone needs to stay bombad.
In the shit.
That was a good episode. I think I really enjoyed it.
It was a good episode. I think we're done.
I ended
We're
the
done, right?
stream. The stream is over.
Yeah.
Bryan's cute.
Oh yeah, big time. Oh, it's about to be 4:20. You know what that means. Sorry. The comments are off because we turned off the stream. My bad.
Yeah, the stream is over.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I really don't want to be here anymore.
When you look at like, yeah, okay, all right.
Forgot my wine.